Hi, everyone. I'm sorry I'm late. Hello, Bella, Lindy London, Cindy Reinhart, Information Hungry, and Bella, and Sea Angel 13, and ML, and Eli D, Barb in Ohio, Analog Synth Player, Jam Bam Billy D, Stardust Freenet, Cecilia Amarati, Air Supremacy. Hi, guys. Mark Williams. Hello, hello, hello. Space Indian. Echo Twin Systems. All of you who are soldiers of good, right? Soldiers of good? Yeah. Soldiers of active goodness in the world. The Hypocrite's Matrix. Hi. Olivier Rout. Hi. What up, Carol? Nothing on my end, that's for sure. On the collective end, a lot. Personally, nothing. Oh, boy. All right. I'm going to get right to it because I'm late. So, how about some weather, huh? How about some weather for California? Because California, they really haven't had much weather, right? Wrong.
But we begin with nasty weather on both coasts. In California, more than 30 million people are currently under flood alerts, including many already hit by deadly rain earlier this month. Meanwhile, a nor'easter is dumping wet, heavy snow across New England. More than 2 feet fell in parts of Massachusetts. We've got correspondents on both sides of the country, but we will begin with Danya Bacchus in California. Danya, good morning. What can you see?
Good morning to you, Michelle. The road into this Ventura neighborhood is washed out. The water is nearly as high as the speed limit side, and we've been told that the residents on the other side are now using an emergency back road to leave. Another brutal atmospheric river has made a steady march from the northern to the southern part of the state. Nearly 27,000 Californians are under evacuation orders, and many do not know when they'll be able to get back home. Relentless rains pounded southern and central California Tuesday, flooding roads in Ventura, northwest of Los Angeles, further stressing snow-packed rooftops in the San Bernardino Mountains as a swollen creek forced evacuations in San Luis Obispo County.
It's definitely higher than it's ever been in my lifetime.
That's after pummeling the state farther north, causing a mudslide that slammed into this house north of Sacramento.
Oh, snap.
The high winds toppled a big rig on a bridge north of San Francisco, and farther south caused these huge eucalyptus trees to smash into 4 buildings in this condo complex. No one was hurt.
The tree just fell down, and then we got knocked on from the fire department and the police department to evacuate as soon as possible.
About 100 people were trapped when floodwaters washed out roads and bridges in Tulare County.
We did airlift into multiple points across the county, emergency food rations.
The latest storm also delivered another round of rain to communities close to rivers already overflowing. Thousands of residents in the farming town of Pajaro were forced to evacuate in the middle of the night last week after a levee broke. Hundreds have been staying at this full evacuation shelter for 5 days and still can't go home, as Anais Rodriguez told our Carter Evans.
Thing is that they don't let us in, so that's the part that's really frustrating.
You don't even know if your home is okay.
That's correct.
There has been, of course, rain still coming, and there are now emergency declarations in 40 California counties. And though this latest round of storms has been devastating, there have been no reports of injuries or deaths.
Well, you know, when people lose their homes, of course, their life, that they're not injured, that they're not dead, yeah. But is it the good news when so many have everything that they worked for gone, that creates a very different life for those who survive these weather weapons.
And right now, more than 160 people are stuck in Three Rivers. That's after those massive floods washed away their only way out.
Fox 26 reporter Sophia Lesios gives us an idea of what those who are stranded are experiencing and the lifelines that are helping them get by.
When you come to Three Rivers, most of the time the roadways are drivable. But as you can see here, residents cannot get in or out of the South Fork.
We did not think that this destruction would get this severe.
Extreme flooding Thursday night has led to this. More than 160 people stranded in South Fork of Three Rivers after Conley Bridge was wiped out.
I didn't even know what to think, and there was so much destruction happening around us that I didn't really even know where to begin.
Because we couldn't physically get to those stranded, we had to speak on the phone about 30 feet away from each other. I don't think I've ever done an interview like this before.
Yeah, definitely not me either. I haven't been on the news much, but it's definitely a new one for me.
Tulare County Sheriff Mike Boudreau says several communities, including South Fork, Mineral King Road, east of mile marker 4, Ponderosa, and Pine Flat Village, are isolated because of bridge failures and washed out roads.
Thursday night, we had a huge deluge of rain, and I think eventually at our house, which is about a mile and a half from here, we counted about 4 inches within 12 hours. And at that point, things just went really south.
Spielman says this isn't even as bad as it once was.
It's crazy, and this is actually a lot lower. The water was actually up to the fence here on this house behind me, and where I'm standing was probably 2 to 3 feet underwater.
Spielman.
So why are all the bridges collapsing? Is it the rain? Oh, or could it be the extremely low frequencies that I have shown a military document over and over again on other channels where they use extremely low frequencies to destroy infrastructure. And we see these extremely low frequencies blasting away on radar over and over. Oh, throughout the years. Throughout the years.
It's just really horrible to watch people's lives just washed out.
This latest storm system riding the atmospheric river is the 11th to hit the state, barely giving Californians a chance to catch their breath.
We weren't expecting it to be as bad as we're seeing it.
The flash flood came in and just took out things from people's yards, kids' toys, our garden. Everything is just down under Santa Ana now.
There it goes. Oh, my God. Oh. Anyway, there goes my neighbor's house.
In Northern California, high winds toppled trees and power lines. Tonight, more than 180,000 people are in the dark across the state. Gusts so strong, they blew windows out of this San Francisco high-rise.
It's glass.
The building was shaking a little bit.
Another threat in higher elevations, mudslides, like the one that crashed into this home in Placer County.
They described that a tree came through one of their windows and then it sounded like a train hitting their house.
Just unbelievable scenes to see there. Now, California will catch a little bit of a break over the next few days, but take a look at this. That's another storm system set to move in by the end of the weekend and last through early next week.
Oh, another atmospheric river. Another storm for you, California. Boy, oh boy. And I'm reading here in the comments section, in the chat, Air Supremacy losing his home. What? I'm basically losing my home, but I'll just suck it up like a man and say hi, hello, hey, great to see you, emoji. I think I hear a little bit of sarcasm there, Air Supremacy. You don't have to suck it up. You can let it out. losing one's home is a rather unbearable experience. Thinking that you're going to lose your home causes an awful lot of stress. So I'm very sorry to hear that. Turkey. Yeah, Turkey.
Heavy rains since Tuesday night have inundated the cities of Şanlıurfa and Adıyaman. Schools in Şanlıurfa were closed on Wednesday. Fintan Monahan reports.
This man had a fortunate escape. Police, rescue workers, and civilians have been helping to save those stranded by floods in southeastern Turkey. Several people have died. In many areas, the emergency services were overwhelmed.
You see, this area is completely submerged. Authorities couldn't set up pumps to discharge the water here. There are cars stranded here, but they couldn't find pumps to discharge the water.
The flash floods are hitting areas already struggling after last month's devastating earthquakes that killed more than 48,000 people. Families forced from their homes by the quakes are now being flooded out of their tents.
As you can see, we managed to relocate our tents and move to the park. We managed to surround the tents with stuff to stop the water coming in.
The mayor of Şanlıurfa was heckled as he surveyed the damage. Many were already unhappy with the government's response to the quakes. After yet another disaster, patience is running out. Heavy rains since Tuesday night have brought flooding not just to Şanlıurfa, but also to other cities like Adıyaman. Authorities have shut down hospitals and schools in some areas. Rescue work is underway, but there are fears the death toll will rise. Fintan Monahan, Al Jazeera.
Oh boy, Turkey. Okay. And people still can't even bother to raise an eyebrow, start thinking that maybe something else is going on here. Maybe it's not that, let's call it CC. Maybe it's not CC. Maybe it's the evil shits using the modern technology to create this weather. Maybe, just maybe. So, oh, hello, T-Lamb. Doing my time. Silent walk. It's not good, all right? When you have your country that is literally millions dislocated, having lost everything, the economy clearly in free fall, you've got a lot of stressed people, you have a lot of depressed people, you don't have, the people that you would like to be able to fight what is taking place. They're not fit. We don't have a fit population, and we've known that for decades. We've been getting sicker and sicker. More are getting that disabled or dead. We really should have done something a long time ago, but we didn't. So this is what we live now. All right, let's do Hey Banks. A rogue version of ChatGPT is predicting the stock market will crash this week, and here's why that artificial intelligence chatbot is dead wrong. They're dead wrong. So I guess people are going into ChatGPT and asking artificial intelligence, will the stock market crash this week? And it's coming up, yep, and is it mainstream media's job to say they're dead wrong? Artificial intelligence? How could artificial intelligence be dead wrong? This is intelligence. Intelligence greater than the human being. How could it be dead wrong? Maybe somebody programmed it wrongly. All right. Whether they're right or wrong, we're looking at it. We're facing it. It's coming. California Governor Gavin Newsom. Oh, he failed to publicly disclose his ties to Silicon Valley Bank while lobbying for a bailout. See, I'm sorry. I have to say this because this comes to mind a whole lot every single day. We didn't do anything about the corruption that we saw decades and decades ago. We never held anybody accountable. And now the corruption is in our face. How do you like it? You like it? I don't like it. But this is what we live. So Newsom lobbied the White House and the Department of the Treasury about the pending bailout of Silicon Valley Bank, even as 3 of his private wineries had apparently been among the bank's clients. And his wife also has a startup, and she was also the bank's client. And oh, well, maybe that's why the bailout is happening despite what your Treasury Secretary said. There would be no bailouts. It's coming. It's happening. It's already happening. They lie. They lie incessantly. And Americans can't get that. Oof. So, Schumer, Waters, among Hill Democrats to rid themselves of Silicon Valley Bank campaign donations. And we're a dangerous joke. We are a dangerous joke. Not just a dangerous joke to ourselves, but to the world. I mean, this corruption, and the joke is Americans still think that these people represent them. Well, they don't. Bank of America has raked in $15 billion in new deposits after Silicon Valley Bank collapse. Why? Because people are taking their money out of the regional small banks and investing in the big banks because they think their money's going to be more secure there. Guess what? They're wrong. Might be more secure for a little while longer, but eventually collapse, the whole collapse, the global collapse, coming to everyone. But talk about knowing how to get the job done. You want to consolidate power in the big banks? You take down the regional banks. You take down the smaller banks. And Silicon Valley and, was it First Republic? They weren't that small. They were 16th and 14th, the biggest banks, respectively. But small compared to Bank of America, Wells Fargo, JP Morgan Chase, and yeah, take them down, and then people get scared, and in all the smaller banks, they take their money and shift it over to the big banks. Voila! It was easy. It was easy. And again, I do want to say, any of you who have a whole lot of money in these banks and you're expecting it to stay there, wake up. Wake up. Wake up. You leave enough in the banks to pay your bills on a monthly basis. And that's about it. Those who have businesses and you have to pay employees, I hope you're taking out cash and storing it somewhere. If you know what is going to be happening, to ensure that you can at least pay your employees when you no longer have access to your money in the bank, your business accounts. So, what is this? Top audit firm defends giving a clean bill of health to Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank weeks before the failure. So, we are living the era of what the F? We are living the era of how do you know what's true? Where's the truth when all we get are lies? We are living the era of evil. I've described this country as a putrid pit of evil. And that's what we got. Clean bill of health. Well, that may very well have been true. But still, they took them down. For all we know, the CEOs, the CFOs, the board of these banks got an awful lot of money to have them taken down to start the collapse. We don't know. We'll never know. We'll never know, the real truth. We're left to speculate. Credit Suisse shares tank after Saudi backer rules out further assistance. Okie dokie. All right. Credit Suisse failing. It will make these smaller banks, the Silicon Valley, the Signature, First Republic, look like a walk in the park. Because this tanking, Credit Suisse, oof, boy, that's going to set off the domino effect like many have been screaming about for years. The collapse, the free fall. Too big to fail. Credit Suisse, domino effect, far more potent. Yes, it is. Unlike Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank, the Swiss lender is classified as systemically important by the U.S. Financial Stability Board, meaning it's too big to fail, as a collapse has the potential to trigger a financial crisis, as if we're not living a financial crisis. And you know what our Democrats especially want to do? But it's not just Democrats, some Republicans. But they want to censor the information. Censorship of bank critics. Mark Kelly, Democrat, Arizona. Yeah, it was only the latest example of how censorship has become a reflexive response of many Democrats to opposing views. It is now increasingly common for certain views to be declared as simply too dangerous to be tolerated or allowed on social media, including, it seems, questioning the solvency of banks. Why don't we just censor all information that you don't like, Mark and the Democrats? We'll just censor it all. Concerned about your money after recent bank failures? You might want to keep those thoughts to yourself while some rush to get their money after the collapses. At least one leading Democrat is pushing for censorship of the banking industry, of those who are, could it be those who are kind of in the know about this collapse, and they want to censor that information because if people learn that this collapse is deliberate, they might actually fight the enemy? I'm sure there are some in Congress that are a little worried that Americans who, if they wake up and they know what we're doing, they might get a little angry at us. So let's censor all information that might make them angry at us. All right, good article. I'm going to link to it in the chat. But yeah, censorship, when you start it, then it's like those who censor get eager to censor everything that they don't like. How about climate change? How about calling everybody a Russian lover or a Russian puppet if you don't like their views that are in opposition to yours? Censorship is addictive. It not only builds an increasing tolerance for speech limits, but a decreasing tolerance for opposing views. Don't we know that? Yeah, we know that. Once you silence opposing views in one area, opposing views in other areas become increasingly intolerable. Rather than convince citizens that their deposits are safe, it is easier to just silence anyone who disagrees with you. So now the expense of free speech is too high if it might undermine faith in our bank stability. They just want to censor the truth. It's simple. It's simple. You know what? And even before I go here, I'm going to play some Gerald Celente, because I was listening to this today and I thought to myself, this is how every American should sound. But oh no, he sounds angry.
We said it would bust by the second quarter of 2000. It busted in March of 2020. Excuse me, of 2000. So 1999, we said it would crash in 2000. By the second quarter, it crashed in March. March is a month that you got to watch out for. And we saw what was going on with the equity markets and how they came down from their high in January. We said, this is going to be the beginning of the end. What happened with these bankster busts are big. It's big. I want to put this into perspective for you. The Silicon Valley Bank, right? That was the big one that went down. And they bailed out the people, the rich cats that had more than $250,000 that the FDIC, Federal Deposit Insurance, covers, right? Hey, you're important. Here's money. Don't worry about it. It was the Silicon freaks that sold us the COVID war. You remember that guy Dorsey? Yeah, the guy Dorsey, the Twitter guy, wrote about it in the Trends Journal as it was happening in 2020. February 2020. The COVID war begins in January 2020 in China in celebration of the Chinese Lunar New Year, the year of the rat. Dorsey cancels his trip going to South Africa and tells all the Twitter tweets, stay home, don't go to work. And one fucking geek freak after another, Zuckerberg, Cook, every fucking one of them, the Google shitheads, stay home, go home, everybody go home. And everybody started going home. And then all the offices closed down, go home, go home. And it was big business for the geek freaks. Oh yeah, they were flying high. Look how low this country's gone when you got these little fucking geeks with pair of balls smaller than a fucking mothball telling you what to do. Hey, don't they dress sharp, man? Zuckerberg could keep all his fucking money. If I look like that fucking freak and dress like him, bend over and take it up your ass. Oh, your Cook, you mean? No, maybe another one. These are the scumbags. These are the fucks that sold us the COVID war because they made a lot of money. They made a lot of money. People are staying home. They're not going out. They're ordering online. They're doing everything online. They're jerking off online. They're getting their food online. They're going to school online. They're going to work online. They're ordering crap from online. Everything is coming from online. And the fucking tech world boomed. Now let's go back to the Silicon Valley Bank. And it's the perfect name. Silicon. Nothing more than fucking con men. And women who suck the joy out of life. Hey, you don't know how to play a saxophone. Shove that trumpet up your ass. We'll make it all digital. It's digital trash. You know, the chat's coming next. Anyway, going back to Silicon Valley Bank. All these fucking IPOs and SPACs. Hey, this business is going big in the tech business. I'm going to get in. I made up a fucking piece of shit that you'll believe. Give me $1 billion. That's who they bailed out. The tech world gave us the dot-com bust, and they gave us this one too. That's right. Now, let's put the big picture together. Oh, the Trends Journal, the only magazine in the world, for 3 years, we were warning about an office building bust. Because of the fucking geek slime ball freaks and the political pieces of shit like the fuck. Here, you know what my new slogan is? Oh, you like that guy Gavin Newsom? All you people voted for him. Stay home. Hey, how about little Billy de Blasio? Oh, not Bill de Blasio. You mean the former mayor of New York whose real fucking name is Warren Wilhelm Jr.? But I changed it to get the Italian vote. And he locks down everywhere. Little Andy Cuomo, the daddy's boy. Witless fucking Whitmere. Little DeWine over there in Ohio. Hey, all you people in East Palestine and the whole area that have been poisoned to death. Don't you love that little fucking arrogant prick that shut everything down? Here's my slogan. For the 2024 presidential election, or any election in any country near you, who the fuck are you to tell me what to do? Who the fuck are you to tell me what to do? Stay home? Fuck off. Get the jab? Shove it up your ass. Who the fuck are you to tell me what to do? These people destroyed our economy. They artificially popped it up with cheap money so the bigs could get bigger with their zero interest rate policy and dumping trillions of dollars into the economy. So let's go back to the Trends Journal calling the office building bust now that people aren't going back to work.
All right. So I see a lot of people, like, wow. That's what every American should sound like because people's lives are being destroyed. It's what every awake person should have been sounding for years and years while watching all of these Americans get destroyed. And, well, I can't sound like that because, well, it just sounds crazy. Or I'm not going to be approved by my social network, and they're just going to discard me. They're going to reject me. So I have to be very, very. I'm just going to go out into the world and just be nice. That's what got us here. That's called real. Gerald Celente is real. And he's still alive inside at 79 years old. So if you don't know Gerald, let me entertain you. All right, wrong click. With his channel link. Don't know why I put Buster right here because it's kind of like honoring him, but it hurts me. All right. Here. Oh, on this channel, I'm not subscribed. Okay. If you don't know him, I highly recommend you subscribe. In fact, he even posted a short just before this live was to begin.
Ukraine troops to travel to U.S. for Patriot missile training. Oh, isn't that great? We're at war with Russia. Get it, everybody? Get it? Imagine if the headline read, Iraqi troops to travel to Russia for Soviet missile training. Oh my God! How could they do that? How could they train them when we're trying to kill the Iraqis and they're getting in our way?
Yeah. Well, if you don't know that the United States is fighting Russia using Ukraine as the proxy country, when you hear that we are bringing Ukrainian soldiers over here to train them, what does that say? My God, it's frightening. It is so flippin' frightening. All right, let's go back to what I was just going to share.
You think his budget reduces debt? Our budget focuses on the deficit, which in turn has an impact on the debt.
So that's a no. Okay, that's fine. So is President Biden's budget balanced? Meaning, are we going to spend more than we collect?
Senator, no, because we believe that would hurt working families. Government trust funds.
You think his budget reduces debt?
Our budget.
Did you hear what she said, the last couple of words?
Budget focuses on the deficit, which in turn has an impact on the debt.
So that's a no. Okay, that's fine. So is President Biden's budget balanced? Meaning, are we going to spend more than we collect?
Senator, no, because we believe that would hurt working families. Government trust funds.
You think his budget reduces debt?
We've been spending more than we collect for decades. Who could possibly believe that? The lies are so in our face and in our ears, in our mouth, and they taste horrible. We are a lying country. It's not just government officials. It's not just mainstream media. The people. We lie as a matter of just common discourse. That's what needed to stop a long time ago. And it got us to a place where nobody can trust anyone. No one can trust anyone anymore. That's really bad. That means your society, well, it becomes a putrid pit of evil. Goldman raises China, their gross domestic product, their growth forecast to 6% from 5.5. You know, how do you know what to believe when you read that headline? But last week, you remember reading an article on how China's growth was decreasing and they were really hurting and their economy is hurting. And so what do you believe? How can you? Yeah, I'm often reminded when we have these headlines that are diametrically opposed. One week we have a headline that says whatever, and then the next week we have a headline that is diametrically opposed to that headline a week ago, and it reminds me of Trump. We're pulling our troops out of Syria. And then within days, he was saying, we're sending 500 more troops to Syria. Does anybody remember that? I posted on it, so that's probably why I remember it. But that was going on with Trump over and over and over again. And I'd be arguing with these Trump supporters, like, why aren't you getting that he is very confusing? Liars are very confusing. They create a lot of chaos. So Russia warns United States to stop hostile flights after Black Sea drone collision. So I've been reading a couple of articles and listening to the press conferences and, the mainstream media reporters asking our military great, if this was an act of war. Russia warns the United States to cease these hostile activities near its border. But Russia also came out and said that the United States is lying. Oh, what a surprise. What a surprise. But of course the United States said, we're just going to fly where we can fly in accordance to, international law, because we really respect and abide by international law. And I'm sure a lot of people outside of the country would agree with that. Somehow the U.S. and allies seemingly weekly announce a new country whose government they want to topple, then denounce other countries' interference in their politics, all while the media doesn't notice. Like how they ship arms to Saudis, then claim they oppose tyrants. Yeah. Oh, the bullshit. This is about, in response to the Canadian foreign minister actually said these words. Our goal is regime change in Russia. Good luck. Good luck. And this is the same cold, unpopulated country that whines without evidence about China interfering in Canadian elections. Can Western leaders go for a week without saying crazy things? No. And I don't even think that they can go a couple of days. Yeah, and I include this because, well, come on. This has been going on. Another thing that has been going on forever, the violation of the Constitution by presidents, by Congress, by the Supreme Court. It's going on. It has been going on for decades. It doesn't matter what team is in control, red or blue. They violate the Constitution left and right, and Americans say nothing because they don't even know how this government is supposed to operate. But it's become so flippin' obvious. That's when it gets scary. So either they have no clue and they're grossly ignorant about how our government is supposed to be operating. Hey, even just give us some resemblance of what it's supposed to be, or they just don't give a flying. Either way, we lose. Target is closing more businesses in Philadelphia, in D.C., 4 locations in Minneapolis. Guess what they all have in common? They're all blue, 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 blue. Well, if it's not happening, it is happening also in red states. This is the tearing down of the economy. This is the result of an economy that has not been good. Okay, yeah. Am I supposed to never get upset about the lies that we're continually listening to? I guess that's the American way. I can't do the American way. In fact, I had a subscriber, not in this country, say to me, "You're not an American, and I think now you're being held hostage." Trump said it. Biden said it. Best economy. Trump said 50 years. Biden said 53 years. I guess adding on, the years, from until he got into office. So strong. Best. It's the best. And Americans have more money in their pocket. Manufacturing also. Trump brought it back. Biden brought it back. Not so. Not so. In fact, let's see. New York Fed survey, the New York Federal Reserve, finds disturbing trends in manufacturing data. New orders and shipments are down, along with employment and worker hours. Oh, what a surprise. A continued drop in manufacturing activity in the state. Well, it's happening all over because manufacturing in this country, what do we produce here? This was going on during the Trump years. He actually congratulating and giving himself accolades for just turning around that economy within 6 months of being in office, and Americans fell for it. Trump supporters fell for that. Oh my God. Wow. Well, it's a worrisome trend amid the market turmoil hitting the tech and banking sectors. New orders dropped significantly, and shipments declined modestly. Both employment and hours worked declined for a second consecutive month. Looking ahead, businesses expect little improvement in conditions over the next 6 months. That's how strong our economy is. So for any Democrat to believe the horseshit that they have literally been listening to, and you still support that party, my God. I don't know what the hell is wrong with you. But you might want to face yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, what the hell is wrong with me? So, another lying sack of crap. Mayorkas.
So by what measure is it secure now, sir?
So there is not a common definition of that. If one looks at the statutory definition, the literal interpretation of the statutory language, if one person successfully evades law enforcement at the border, then we have breached the security of the border. So what we try to do,
what's your definition?
What our goal is to achieve operational control of the border.
Chief Ortiz, does DHS have operational control of our entire border?
No, sir. So by what measure is it secure now, sir?
So there is not a
common definition. Well, there doesn't seem to be a definition of anything these days. How about the definition of recession? That seemed to take a whole new, well, pick A, B, C, D, whatever, when we had a standard definition of recession. How about woman? Definition of woman. We have a Supreme Court justice who is sitting on the Supreme Court. Oh, how is it possible that I can swallow something down the wrong pipe when I'm not even swallowing and I didn't drink or eat? During the confirmation hearing, she was asked, what's the definition of a woman? And she couldn't answer. She was confirmed. Okay? We have a problem. When you don't, and this really pissed me off in Great Barrington. and I've told this story a number of times, I noticed that people weren't using, like, the definitions that we had always used before. And it was kind of like, well, for me, it was breaking down communication, because if you define a word the way it works for you instead of the actual definition, it does break down communication. And I remember I'm sitting in my living room with this retired professor, and we're having a discussion about atheism. But she kept using her own definition of what an atheist is. And I would say, Margot, that's not the definition. That happened 3 times. And the third time, I just went, look, if you're going to use your own definition, well, a friend who was there, who wasn't really participating in the conversation, but she was there, got oh so angry and literally said to me, what, you want to use your definition? I said, no, I want to use the definition. So it was more important for that friend to defend her friend, and I thought I was also a friend, but defend her using the wrong definition in a conversation that I literally I gave up. I couldn't have the conversation. I then went out to a restaurant in Great Barrington, and I'm sitting there with about 5 other people, and the range of ages, 25 into the 60s. And we're all talking, and I said, listen, I need to ask a question. I said, when you're talking, do you use like words? And I wasn't even sure how to phrase this question. I said, do you define words how you want to define them? Like, forget the dictionary now. We're in a new era. Every one of them said yes. Every friggin' one of them said yes. We've got a problem. And these were the educated people. Oh, they were the educated. They thought they were the educated elite. Whatever works for you. Well, that means that we have a massive communication breakdown, and without standards of communication, there's no way to talk to one another. That was very disturbing. And it still is.
Right, it's like every single day, you guys, and this is why I complain about all the time. Look, what's his name? What's your name? My name's Alex? Tommy. Yeah, your name's Alex, and I'm gonna be talking to your manager. This guy called me sir. This happens every fucking day. Everywhere I go, I get called sir. I'm so fucking tired. Why would you call a chick big ass tits? Fucking. Why would you call? I didn't say. No, stop trying to gaslight trans people and tell us that we're crazy. Crazy. You need to fucking be mindful of other people and stop being a fucking scumbag. And you're a liar. I heard you. Stop fucking gaslighting trans people. Wait, what? Did you call me sir again? What was that? You said goodnight, sir? Alex, I'm gonna be talking to corporate about you, you motherfucker. Fuck you. Okay? That's bullshit. You don't fucking harass trans people at work. Yeah, you did. And I'm walking out and you're like, have a good night, sir? What the fuck is that? No, you don't fucking do this to trans people. This is discrimination. No, this is discrimination. I'm fucking done with it. No, I'm going to talk to corporate about this. You don't harass trans people. Hey, you know, it's one of the stupid things when you're catching Karens. I didn't even say nothing. You called me sir, and you're talking shit, calling me sir on the way out. This is transphobic harassment. You're a fucking bigot at work. All right, Alex, you know what? I can't wait to this. He admits twice calling me sir. No, he lied about the first one. No, you called me sir twice. What? Yeah, but you shouldn't be fucking harassing people with slurs. It's a slur. Do you not understand? It's like if you call the person of color the N-word. Don't fucking... You did on the way out. I don't care.
But I never.
I have the right to be pissed about it.
I never said sir.
You fucking did.
I said I'll lock the door.
You fucking did, you liar. And I'm gonna hold you accountable. Cis people need to be held accountable for how they treat trans people. And I'm not gonna put up with this shit anymore.
You're crazy, bro.
You're fucking. Don't call me fucking bro. Stop fucking throwing slurs at me, you fucking piece of shit.
Have a good night, sis.
No, fuck you. I ain't your sis. I ain't your fucking bro. You don't even fucking know me. Oh, you want to flash gang signs at me?
Fuck you.
All right. Yeah, fuck your ass. If you want to talk about sucking dick now, why is it that you fucking weird since people are so obsessed with sex? You have fucking...
I just can't, okay? But, you know, people... This hasn't happened in a long time, but I would go into stores and on occasion people would call me sir. But I would know that they weren't even like looking at me. They would just see my height, and I'm 6 feet tall. So I'd just stand there with a smile. And then they would look up and go, oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I mean, drama queens. Americans are drama queens. They love to put on a show, a big show. Everything has to be big. You have to bow down to me all the time. What the hell? Ugh. And how about a man arrested in machete attack in Long Island, in Valley Stream? I lived in Nassau County, and Valley Stream is in Nassau County. Oh, yeah. And the victim is in critical condition. Okay. No mention whether or not this man is a legal citizen or an illegal migrant. Robert Velasquez, 30 years old. There was a disturbance between the two men. No shit. The victim was rushed to the hospital. He's in critical condition. Velasquez was homeless. Okay. Machete attacks seem to be on the rise in America. And you have these crazy people. I mean, really? Okay. Could people actually like Jamie Lee Curtis? Could they actually like her? My mouth keeps sticking and it's pissing me off.
Hey. Oh, look at this.
Here they are.
Have we named her? What's her?
I'm in support of my daughter Ruby. I'm having them be a they them.
Oh.
I'm gonna just call them they them, and they are doing great. And they're settling in. In my life, I never thought in a million years that I would have this couple days, and I'm very, very moved by the whole thing. Hey.
Oh, look at this.
Here.
If I lived outside this country and I was considering moving here, and I saw that, America would be off my list. Or Oscar. She's going to pronoun it they, them. It's for her daughter who transitioned. So her transgendered Are you beginning to feel rather disgusted with our country? Or am I alone in that? Lily Tang Williams. You know, life could have just been simple, but no. Wow, nearly 30 inches of snow in her town in New Hampshire. Still no power yet, but the good news is a friend nearby came over with chains to help John, her husband, to get our plow truck out of deep snow. We learned some lessons from this snowstorm and will be better prepared next time. Having good friends and neighbors is always so important in life, especially when your family is so far away. Yes, having good friends and neighbors makes life meaningful. And you're less stressed. But here, devastation. Plymouth City Council, this is in England, brought to the city. Devastation. Wow. Against the wishes of the public, should be considered criminal. Any good solicitors out there? Look at this. Gee, you think they're preparing for something? You think they might be preparing to install some cameras? Yeah. They did the same thing in Great Barrington. They cut down all of the trees. Main Street, Great Barrington, very small, just a couple of blocks long, but they had beautiful trees that provided so much shade, and shoppers loved them, businesses loved them because they provided the shade when it got really hot in the summer. And so many people, especially the business owners on Main Street, they showed up at town council meetings, they voiced their opposition to taking down those trees. And I tried to get it through to people in Great Barrington that their town council had been taken over and they get the orders from Pittsfield. They had consolidated power in the city that was closest to Great Barrington and other towns. They lost the power, the local power, and they didn't even know it. And yes, Pittsfield, they get the orders, and the orders are all about Agenda 2030. And boy, did I see that operating in Great Barrington. Especially when I took a walk and I saw the sign, Great Barrington, a green community. And then, of course, the bike lanes came in and... oh, I can't even go there. Disgusting. But look at this. Alberta area. Let's see. It's always the birds, and that indicates natural disasters. Natural? Come on. I did see the locations, but she had said that this was not just this area, but other areas nearby. It doesn't have to be the 5G towers. It doesn't have the extremely low frequencies when they emit them into the atmosphere, like I captured here, and this is Montana area going right on into that area. And let me see if I... All right, so no, not this one. Let's see. Here you go. There's a whole lot of frequencies that could kill off a whole lot of birds. Microwaves can do it. Extremely low frequencies can do it. For sure, 5G can do it. And it is heartbreaking. More lies. More flippin' lies. More lies.
I'm disappointed that there hasn't been a wedding yet, but Cardi B is going to marry us, apparently officiate our wedding, which would be nice. But my question for you, Mr. President, is you codified support for same-sex marriage and interracial marriages like ours. I'm curious what your evolution was like on marriage equality and what the federal government might be able to do to protect LGBTQ Americans, especially trans kids who are dealing with all these regressive state laws that are popping up right now.
I can remember exactly where my epiphany was.
Okay.
I hadn't thought much about it, to tell you the truth, and I was a senior in high school, and my dad was dropping me off, and I remember about to get out of the car, and I looked to my right, and two well-dressed men in suits kissed each other. I mean, they gave each other a kiss. And then one looked like he was heading to the DuPont building, and one looked like he headed to the Hercules Corporation building. And I'll never forget, I turned and looked at my dad. He said, Joey, it's simple. They love each other. It's simple. No, I'm not joking. It's simple. They love each other. And it's never been, it's never been, it's just that simple. It doesn't matter whether it's same-sex or a heterosexual couple. They should be able to be married. What is the problem? So listen to your auntie and your uncle. Get married.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Come on, Americans. When he says, I'm not joking, you know he's lying. He's so full of shit. He's a remarkable liar. He's been full of shit for decades. He's still in office. He's now the president. Oh my God. He has no clue what the hell he's doing, what he's saying, what. Yeah, I think they must have like a wind-up thing in his back. Wind him up now. Get him out there. And let's just watch him spew the lies, and Americans will just sit back and do nothing about it. Wow. 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 Let's see. Biden's new story is just not believable. In 1996, he voted for Defense of Marriage Act. He could have joined the 14 Democrats who opposed it, Boxer, Feinstein, Kennedy, Kerry, et al., but he didn't. Okay. And this is, oh my God, just, he had an epiphany in the 50s. And his father said, Joe, they love each other. Yeah, that's what fathers were saying to one another, to their sons in the 50s, 1950s. Yeah. Yeah. That's what they were saying. Well, this is what he said.
Get it? We are desperately concerned about the circumstance relating to avian flu. We don't have enough vaccines. We don't have enough police officers. And we're going to debate the next 3 weeks, I'm told, gay marriage, a flag amendment, and God only knows what else. I can't believe the American people can't see through this. We already have a law, the Defense of Marriage Act, where we've all voted, not where I voted and others said, look, marriage is between a man and a woman, and states must respect that. Nobody's violated that law. There's been no challenge to that law. Why do we need a constitutional amendment? Marriage is between a man and a woman. What's the game going on here? And handbasket. We are desperately concerned about the circumstance relating to avian flu. We don't have enough vaccines. We don't have enough police officers. And we're going to...
Well, some things never change, and that is my coffee maker in the back. So if you hear that noise, that's what it is. Yeah. Okay. And we're going to debate gay marriage? What, are you nuts? Yeah. Believe him. Oh, my God. What is so sad is the fact that we have these people in high office that, yeah, puppets, who cares? They're the ones that are lying through their teeth to the American public, but the American public, I am, it reflects who we are as a people. Get it? It really reflects who we are collectively. Wow. Oh, God. And, yeah, well, this kind of sums it up. Here, great analogy. So what is this? Jabbed zombies, psyops, the LGBTQ propaganda, mainstream media, haters, and truthers. I don't consider myself a truther. Whatever. But, yeah. You can consider, these three on the narrow road. They say that it's a narrow road for a reason. It's a narrow road because so few are on it. So few make it on. But that's really only if you know the truth about yourself. That's the most important truth. I don't know what has gone on with my mouse, but yeah, most important truth. That's the truth that sets you free, not the collective truth, the truth about who you are. Then you become free because you become your authentic self, and you're not this person that you've been carved out to be by those adults, as a child, those adults that have influenced you in your beliefs. If you haven't done any serious thinking about your beliefs, how you got them, did you make them consciously as an adult? Or are they just beliefs from your childhood? If you haven't done that, you don't know who you are, and you're not free because your past is actually guiding you. Your past is very, very, very powerful. That's why it's important to resolve it, to do that self-reflective work so that you can understand who you are, and the decisions that you make in the present are not informed by the past. I hope I made sense. one thing I know for sure, I tried. I did try. So what else do I have? I've got Illinois enacts mandatory paid leave for any reason. For any reason? Illinois becomes one of 3 states, but they actually go a little further. So Maine and Nevada mandate earned paid time off and allot employees the freedom to decide how to use it. What? The freedom to decide how to use their time off? Okay, thank you, employer. But Illinois law is further reaching, unencumbered by limits based on business size. Just another tactic to destroy small businesses. So, if you're a business and you have 2 employees, now, well, in 2024, which, let's see if we actually see that. 2 employees, you got to pay them for time off. So, yeah, I do think that this is another tactic to destroy small businesses. Woke on wheels. Woke AI in cars. ChatGPT virtual assistant installed in General Motors cars. Yeah, that's what we need to make the drivers even more busy. Even more busy. Fortunately, a whole lot of Americans are multitaskers, right? So, little one is chasing his tail. What else? Let's see. How about that washing machine rule? Biden washing machine rule would make Americans dirtier and stinkier and raise prices. That's what the manufacturers say. Industry manufacturers claim the change little one is very cute right now. Let's see. Oh, man. Let's see if I can show you. Come on, little one. Ooh. He's really going for it. You go, boy. A cute moment. Needed. So yeah, new efficiency standards, oh God, requires new appliances to use considerably less water. It's an effort to combat climate crisis. Oh my God. Well, yeah. I would think some of this has to go through Congress, like, legislation. But that's not how we work anymore. Biden to sign executive order on gun control. Wow. Now what is this about? This too should be a piece of legislation, but hey, we now have a king. We've had a king for decades. We had a king in Trump and in Obama and Bush and on down. Executive order that will bring more federal gun control measures, including the increased use of red flag laws, more background checks, increase the number of background checks by ensuring firearms sellers comply with existing background check legislation, or is it background check executive orders? to increase public awareness about safe firearms storage. Use of red flags. Are they going national with the red flags? They might be. Oh boy. I will link below to Delhi job cuts. It's not an exclusive list, but points out that we have a lot of Americans who are losing their jobs. And yeah, well, despite what the Biden administration, Biden himself, press secretary, what they say about, oh, the economy is doing fabulously, more Americans, look at how many American jobs I've created, I'm so great. It ain't the truth. Boxed.com, 32. These are the layoffs, the numbers. Heritage Operations, 69. Fetch Rewards, 100. Dukan International, 80. Krispy Kreme in Concord, North Carolina, 102. Wow, that's a lot for a small area. Bemidji State University, 23. Just going to read the numbers, not percentages or whatever. Well, Silicon Valley Bank, 100 to 120. That was back in January. Gee, I wonder if they knew something was happening. Anchorage Digital, 75. Meta, 10,000. Woof! Big number. Y Combinator, 17. 108 in Tennessee for national seating and mobility. 30, Levi Stadium in San Francisco. Oh, at the stadium, the San Francisco's 49ers Stadium, 30. Ford in Spain, 1,100. Central Valley School District, 90. GoPuff, 100. Neolucan Therapeutics, 32. Morning Brew, 40. FreedomWorks, 20. Johnson & Johnson in California, 350. Geodis Logistics, 107. AeroVironment, 117. Lockheed Martin, 176. Zero International, 800. Stockton, 19. Stockton Unified School Districts. Whataburger, over 50 from corporate workforce. Wattpad, 42. UMass Chan Medical School, 26. Princeton Care, 45. That was pretty much last week. Swift, 80. Parsons Extreme Golf, 125. Tasteful Selections, 110. Atlassian, 500. Roadrunner, 50. ShopVac, 80. Johnson & Johnson Med Tech, 1,000 or more. I'll just do March. Coats America, 41. Embark Trucks, 230. Airbnb, 30% recruiting staff, about 40 plus. Katahdin Forest Products, 20. Friday Health, 98. Color Health, 300. Masterclass, 79. Puritan Medical Products, furloughs of 251. CNET, 12. Zaskaler, 150. Sonder Holdings, 100 corporate employees. Novo Nordisk, 86 in Seattle. J&J, Johnson & Johnson, 57 positions in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania. Wall Clippers, 40. Marshfield Clinic Health Systems, 346. Alphabet's robo-taxi developer, Waymo, 137. ThoughtWorks, 500. Well, that's a given. I mean, ThoughtWorks? Don't want anybody thinking here. Bridgewater, 100. BCH, 63. Curate Retail, 400. Everett Schools may cut up to 140 jobs. 266 in North Charleston, TELUS International. That was March. And there's more. So, yeah, not good. Not good. Not good. We're screwed. Some more screwed than others. Some may hang on for a while. Others will go down faster. And I'm talking to you guys. Because I've seen it throughout the years. I started, and I didn't know one subscriber for years who had suffered any of the consequences of what I was bringing to them. A whole lot of Americans suffering consequences that they were not. Oh, and I was called miserable, and I was called this and that, and then suddenly subscribers started experiencing it. Ooh, lost my job. Ooh, homeless. Oh, the fire in California took out my home. Ooh, the flooding. Oh, flooding again. Ooh, sick. Well, when you let evil run amok, it literally runs over you. You want to see Australia's army recruiting commercial that just came out? It looks like the Australian Army is trying to recruit Aussies to fight Aussies. Those protesters. Get them. Get them. Oh, and this.
See this? See this? This is on the billboard. See this? UN Agenda 2030, Goals for Sustainable Development, the Great Reset. Do your fucking homework, people.
Let's watch that again. This is Detroit.
See this? See this? This is on the billboard. See this? UN Agenda 2030, Goals for Sustainable Development, the Great Reset. Do your fucking homework, people.
Wouldn't it be wonderful if people just took a little bit of time out of each day to do their homework? What? Yep. Right smack in your face. It's unbelievable. I don't know if the truth is annoying for most. I think it scares the shit out of a lot of people, and I think it makes them angry. They have to get angry. They have to make sure that they beat you down so that you never speak the truth again. It is every day in our face. It's amazing. It is so unbelievable how in our face it is, and we don't rise. Don't rise. Let's see. What else? Hey, little one, what? What? What is it? Okay, come here. Come here, come here, come here. Here. I'll end on these. Start this from the beginning. On my way to get emotional support from my dog after work.
Whoa, big stretch.
No. Hi, girl. Hi, sweetie. You ready to go for a walk, girlie? Hey, you ready to go for a walk?
The big difference between dogs and cats. Saving all lives matters. It matters. Very important. Be the force of good. That means taking action. Good action. I would be really happy, Carol, to exchange with you and be your European correspondent. But is it going to do anything? Not here. It won't do anything here. Won't do anything here. I still think driving cross country is okay, as long as your niece, makes the stop in decent areas of whatever state she's in and pulls off into crowded truck stops. I would go during the day rather than night. I have to say, I took off on my own in 2009, desperately wanting to find a place to live outside of the Northeast because I was so sick of the Northeasterners, and just took off by myself out west, driving all around, and I never, ever had any fear. Even when I was driving around the country in 2012, 13, 14, and so on, I never had any fear because I had my 2 dogs. When I didn't have my dogs, a little bit, not all that much. But after Montana, driving to Maine, and then driving down here to Georgia, I was, because of everything that I've been looking at, I was definitely getting more nervous. But I still, made it without any problem. And if she's going to be staying in hotels, make sure that they're good hotels. How would I describe Northeasterners? I have a whole lot of words, but one that comes to mind is arrogant. 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 They think they have the answers. But I am, talking about my particular class of the class I was in, the social network of people, and they were the educated, and they were the professionals, and they were the, academics, and the arrogance is sickening. Whatever they think is right, it's right. Everybody else is wrong. You don't want to be there. You don't want to go to the Northeast. So I'm going to begin to say goodbye. I'm a mix. I'm a whole mix throughout the day. Between the personal and the collective, I cannot believe what I am living. I just cannot believe it. Brokenhearted. Broken. Just recognizing my own betrayal for years and years. Also feeling betrayed by my fellow Americans who are just doing nothing. Not getting that it is imperative for the individuals, of course, in the aggregate, to take the action that is necessary, to change our reality, but a whole lot of people don't believe that, I guess. Yes, little one? Yes, he's looking at me with his squinty eyes. Can you see his head? Hey! No. You believe cats can see angels and ghosts? It was your sister's way of comforting you? Thank you, Cindy. Hello to everybody that I didn't get a chance to say hello to. And now I start to say goodnight to Anthony Van Zant and Willow. Sherry and Marty, thank you very, very, very much for all you do. Thank you to those subscribers who I noticed the comments in the chat asking people to donate. I appreciate it. Thank you. I haven't looked. I think I finally got that I have a real problem with feeling undeserving of help. I can't even face it. Hi. Hi. Mark Williams, Amber Eyes, SCDHL number 4. Eli D. Bird's Eye Video, Beatrix Kiddo. Little One is so unbelievably sweet. There was a question that I had. Oh. What do you do? Actually, I'm going to include this. I'm only going to play like 2 or 3 minutes of this video, and I will link to it. Activated charcoal. This is the What You Need to Know About the Power of Carbon video that was sent to me, I think via Twitter, by a subscriber whom I'd like to thank, Woodward Entertainment. I'm going to put his channel in the channel link, Woodward TV, because this is another channel that is very good. So let's listen to just two minutes.
And continues to increase, people are going to need solutions to keeping their bodies clear of these toxins. There are many solutions available, and the majority of them come in the form of food. But sometimes they come in a form that many people are just unaware of. So, instead of just giving you a list of supplements and supplies to go take, I feel it's very important to go through each individually, as they do deserve that special attention. And today, we start with charcoal. But not just charcoal, activated charcoal. That charcoal you use for your barbecue grill, that's just charcoal made with fillers and added chemicals, as well as petroleum. It's really only good for burning. In contrast, activated charcoal is just organic materials burned at high temperatures. So you end up with something that is more pure and porous. Activated charcoal can hold up to 100 times its own weight in toxic material. 50 grams of this stuff has the surface area of 7 football fields. So you don't need a lot of it. And it's dirt cheap, of course. So let's talk about the amazing benefits of this nature's chemical healer and the power of carbon.
Ooh. It's rather annoying when an inanimate object fights you. Activated charcoal. So my question was not on the right channel for that, so sweetie, I've got to move my arm. Okay. Subscribe. There you go. Channel link in the chat. And I will post the link to what you need to know about activated charcoal. And my question is, how do you know where to buy any of this stuff? Because labeling is quite deceptive in our country. And it's also true with, a whole lot of those, websites, those companies that claim to be so organic and everything natural, and this is the best, and then you find out it's not. So, just for activated charcoal, and I'm sure someone here in the chat actually purchases it. If you could leave a link or tell us a company name or get back to us tomorrow night. Because I don't know. I've been the things that I used to purchase, I can't even remember where I purchased them. It does get a little scary when you can't remember the things that you need to remember. So, Olivier, is that how you pronounce your name? Is it possible to have a live conversation with Carol? It's easier for me to have live conversations with people I know than someone that just comes on board, but that should not be taken personally at all. So, yes, email me. And then we could have maybe a personal conversation via Jitsi, which is like Zoom. Good. Hey, I got a pronunciation of a name right. So give me an email, shoot me an email, and we'll take it from there. Yeah, there's no health food stores here. I have Walmart and a supermarket. That's it. So, yeah. All right, guys, it's 9:02. Thanks for showing up. Hope to see you tomorrow. And, as always, please help those in need of help. Extend yourself. Don't wait for them to ask. We've got to change. When reality changes, we have to change to adjust to it. And I'm not talking about becoming transgender. You know what I mean. Okay? A lot of people now need help. We have to change. We've got to be, that goodness that manifests in the world. If you want the world to be different, you got to get different. Be the change you want to see. These are no, words that are just a joke. These are words to take very, very, very seriously and put them into action. And as you can see, the machete attacks are, picking up in numbers. So be safe. Situational awareness, very, very important. I say this at the end every single night just to keep it in your mind. You got to get it in your mind where it becomes part of you. So, on that note, I say have a good night. Any Aussies in the chat or in the live, have a good day. And yeah, I do hope to see you tomorrow. Ciao.